Hi, welcome to the Let's Talker Show. I'm DV LeBron. I have a very special guest today, Mr. Clint Fuqua, uh,
Yep.
the the health engineer. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. I am dealing with COVID brain, folks, and it has shown in the last few episodes. It's a real thing. So the reason why I wanted to have Clint on was because there's serious health issues with people all over the United States. Diabetes, obesity, they're killing people. And COVID definitely showed that it can be a very dangerous endeavor to be overweight. And so this man, I've read his book, and he wrote a book on personal health reform. Now he's thinking outside the box when it comes to getting a hold of your health, of your personal health care. And so I wanted to have him on to talk about this. And I'm going to kind of shut up and kind of let him get into this. Can you go ahead and tell me about yourself, Clint?
Okay. So I've been in this for about 30 years, essentially since high school. I've been on all different sides of the industry. So I worked with a lot of athletes. Start off. I mean, I was doing PT before I came out of high school, and so dealing with injuries, stuff like that. I've run a supplement company. I worked with tons and tons of different clients all over the place on different sides of things. I've trained a lot of trainers over the years. Opened a gym because I went crazy, and decided to be one of those independent business owners. Um, and but I mean, I've seen all different sides of this whole thing. And you mentioned obesity and diabetes. So I worked with the American Diabetes Association here in Dallas for several years as well. But COVID really messed a lot of things up for a lot of people. We were talking before the show that on average, most people gained 19 to 20 pounds during COVID-19 when we had the shutdown lockdown, right? Because you were stuck in your place. And sadly, so most people, if you didn't catch COVID-19, you got the COVID-19, you gained the COVID-19, right? Millennials were even worse off. They gained like 30 pounds on average, which 30 pounds over your normal weight puts you in the obese category. So it really took numbers up on obesity and diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all that stuff. Um, but since I've been on multiple sides of this industry, I've worked with a lot of different people. I mean, I've worked with terminally ill. I've worked with elite athletes like we do here, and like everybody in between. I've done corporate stuff where I go in and talk to entire corporations about how to get healthier and taking care of corporate health, which is a whole another big issue. But the book was initially, I didn't like the ACA when it came out. Still don't. I think it's a horrible bill. And the first draft of that book was doing nothing but tearing it down, right? And there's tons of books about that. I'm like, well, there's a better route here. Let's get people to start thinking about health, their health specifically. And I mean, the fitness industry has done a disservice to everybody in how we represent gym life, workouts, stuff like that. Everything's about, get the abs, lose the 15 pounds, get ripped, get up on stage. Anybody can be an athlete, all that stuff. Sorry, not everybody can be an athlete. um, but that's what's put out there. Everything is extreme, right? As opposed to asking what kind of life do you want to live, right? And help people get back to dreaming and having like the American dream of what they want to do, and say, okay, that's great. You need to be healthy enough to do it. How about you just go out and start walking so you have some basic health, and then you can build on top of that to improve yourself and improve your life. So this thing you want to do, say you go crazy and want to open your own business, you better be really healthy to do that. Because if you go out sick and you have a sick day, who's running the business? Hopefully you have some employees that can run the business. But otherwise, if you're like a solopreneur, it's all on you, and that's a lot of stress. It's a whole lot of stress.
So what do you, as someone who does this, what is the, we just came to the year and it's flying by. One of
Oh
the
yeah.
biggest things that happen at the beginning of the year is new year, new me. I'm gonna change it all, and the success rate of that is very poor. So, um,
100%.
as someone who runs into that and sees an
Yeah.
influx in the gym and then all of a sudden disappearance, what is the biggest reason for failure there? And what do you do when you're talking to your clients? What do you do to kind of make that more successful?
Honestly, so the whole New Year's resolution thing, it is planned failure. I didn't say it, but it's planned failure because everybody does it the first of the year. I I'll, I wrote an article about this. I broke down the numbers of this. You have a 1% chance of success in January. 1%, which means you got a 99% chance of failure. Most people start in January because they know automatically it's not going to happen, right? You do your New Year's resolutions. Resolution dump day is on January 15th. Half the people have dumped their resolutions by then. 75% of people are done by the end of January, and then it just dwindles down from there. Because it's the toughest time of year to do it. Everybody's in the gym. You're already overloaded with coming out of the holidays. You've got credit cards, debts rolling in. You got all kinds of crazy stuff at work. If you're going to travel, you're traveling a lot in January. You got the first of the year work stuff going, right? And so the best thing to do, one, is have a plan. Get a real plan, right? Work with a trainer. Find somebody that does this for real, and start slow and start with some wins. Like I'm sure you've heard of 75 hard, which is okay. So 75. A lot of people are trying to do 75 hard. I'm like, no. Do it 30 easy. Okay, do it 30 easy. 30 days of easy stuff you can do.
It sounds like my kind of plan. Sounds like
yeah.
my plan.
And then after you do that 30 easy, do like a 45 harder, and then maybe later on do a 75 hard if you go crazy. I've got clients that have done 75 hard, but because like they're mentally they can handle the excess of it. But start off with wins, and the best time anybody can start is actually September or October. October is a win. You start in October, November, December. You hit that 3 months of progress before you get to January. You're already in. You've already doing your thing. You've already lost weight during the holidays. This way you can enjoy Thanksgiving. You can enjoy Christmas, like eat all you want and not worry about it. And then you go through the rest of the year and you're not bothered by anything.
Okay.
And planning for 13 months.
Can I stop you for a minute? And
Yeah.
I hate to stop your train of thought here, but the holidays is like, I mean, that I lost 40 pounds and the holidays kind of jacked that up. So you're saying, hey, start right before the holidays in October.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that set? How do you get past that you're going to eat a lot?
Well, yeah. Of course you're going to eat a lot. It's eating time, right? It's family feasting. But yeah, as I point out, Thanksgiving is one day. Christmas is one day, right? So you have 2 days of massive eating, and that's it. The rest of the time you just eat normal. So you feast when you're supposed to have a feast, and then you do normal stuff the rest of the time. And this way you can have that one day of just excess, and then the workouts the next week are awesome. But yeah, it's just most people will do like Thanksgiving turns into a week of festivities, and Christmas will turn into like 2 weeks of festivities. And I know you got the parties, you got all the holiday parties, and everything like that. Well, okay, figure out who's got the best holiday parties, the best foods, and you save it up and say, okay, we're gonna splurge at this one. We're eating everything there. All the rest of the places, no, we're gonna eat before we even go. If you eat before you go, then you're not tempted by anything there, or at least less tempted. So this way it cuts that out. Plus, you're already gonna be working out and doing better things for yourself. So you get to January, you've got no resolution to break anymore because you don't need one of those. You're already doing it. So it takes all that stress away. And then also realizing if you overeat for a day, you overeat for a day. Okay, fine. I've got 364 more days.
Right. And it's something that and I've heard this before, if somebody goes and they have one day where they eat like trash, and then it's just like a disheartening after that, it's just all over because of one day. How do you get out of that mindset?
Well, so you plan it, right? So most people will plan a cheat day or a cheat meal. Don't do the cheat meal, cheat day thing. It's because then automatically you're guilting yourself into it and out of it, saying I'm cheating on my meal. No. You set up as a massive feeding day. Like, this is a day I'm going to eat. I'm going to let my body have some excess that I'm going to use the whole next week for my workouts. Dwayne Johnson, he has epic feeding days, right? If you've ever seen any of the pictures of his stacks of pancakes and stuff. Now, granted, it's Dwayne Johnson, but you can't eat like him. But it's kind of the same thing. You're planning on this day of excess, which means you're not going to be stressed about it. And if you're not stressed about it, you're not going to hold on to it. You're actually going to utilize it because you're going to enjoy the process of it. And you're going to be thinking while you're eating, like, man, the next 3 workouts are going to be so awesome.
Right. Yeah.
So it's changing the mindset. The mindset of that, instead of cheating on yourself or cheating on your diet. No, this is a part of the plan. Like, I'm going to have my normal eating days. I'm going to have an off eating day where I eat a lot less to let my system rest, which most people don't think about. Or people do like the fasting thing, the intermittent fasting thing. I personally don't like intermittent fasting, even though you do it every day anyway, because you sleep at night and you're fasting during your sleep.
Right.
But most people kind of go overboard with it. But if you have like one day of fasting where you just eat less. Maybe that's your salad day. I'm just going to eat some salad. I'm going to eat some fruits. I'm going to hydrate a whole lot more on this day. I'm going to let my body rest, because most people forget about fasting. When you do a fast, you're supposed to let your body rest, all of your body rest. So do that on like a Saturday or Sunday. Just chill, rest, have a salad. Maybe best to do that after you have your massive feeding day. But this way you give your body a nice full rhythm that it goes through. It gets used to it and says, okay, your body's like, ooh, it's massive eating day. Let's take down some calories. And then your body says, oh, this is my rest day. I'm going to chill. I'm going to have a salad. I'm going to kick back. I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy the day. And then you have the rest of your week where, you just have your normal stuff.
So, the Facebook experts, okay. The Facebook's experts always say, dude, just cut out the carbs, man. You're going to do it. Now, can you speak on that? Because that is the one thing that everybody, if you say, hey, I want to lose some weight. Well, hey, just cut out the breads. So can you speak on that?
Yeah. So some simple basics on that. Cut out all the trash. How about that? That's probably the better thing. Cut out all the trash you shouldn't be eating. Should you have Twinkies? No. Should you have that thing at the convenience store? No. Should you have that extra bowl of ice cream? No. So think about all the excess stuff that's going in that you don't need to have, right? And don't have it anymore. The best way not to have it is don't have it in your house. Like if it's in your pantry, you're gonna have it. So just don't buy it in the first place. Put better stuff in there, right? And allow yourself a feeding day where you have some excess, but so you don't go crazy. But that's the best route to go with that. Other than I'm going to cut all the carbs out. Okay, you cut all the carbs out, so now you're just eating proteins and fats. That's it. You've got nothing for energy. I know fats do energy, but it's like long-term energy. It takes a while to convert over, and your body may not be ready for that. Genetically, your body may actually do better in carbohydrates. There's like different types. Genetically, some people work better in carbohydrates, some work better on fats, some work better on proteins. If you don't know which one you are, don't go guessing, don't go rolling dice about this thing. Keep everything even, right? So don't go overboard on the carbohydrates. Have a little bit. The best route, I'm going to give everybody a little cheat on this. If you have fruits in the morning, okay, so your fruits, have those in the morning. One, because they're going to give you better hydration. They're going to give you some quick sugar up, okay, or faster up for the sugars. If you're going to have grains, if you're going to have breads, pastas, rice, anything like that, do that like midday. That's like lunchtime. Do that. That's going to help sustain you through the rest of the day, whatever you're going to do. Plus, if you work out in the mornings, that's going to be kind of a reloading phase for you. And then at nighttime, leafy greens. So you see, over here, all this, like don't have grass, but if it's that color, you want to have a lot of it at night. So have your salads at night, have vegetables, cooked vegetables at night. Not potatoes. Potatoes would be like the lunchtime deal, unless you have a couple of new potatoes. But go lighter on the carbohydrates at night. Have them during the rest of the day, so if I can utilize them, not going through storage at nighttime. And it's like the best, rhythm throughout the day. This way, you get some hydration, you get some energy. You're not starving yourself of anything. You're not going through deprivation other than no, you shouldn't have that cookie. You shouldn't have it. Quit it. Don't have the cookie. Take the cookie for Saturday.
Drop the cookie.
Yes.
So
yeah. I love that meme goes around all over the place with Arnold sitting there. Put down the cookie. Put it down. Oh God, I love that.
So you talk in your book. You talk about in your book, and you divide it up like you say mornings, afternoon and evening on how you should like eat your carbs and what kind of carbs. You talk about like in the evening you want to have like a more fiber type deal compared to like in the morning it changes the carb that you should try to have. Can you kind of speak on that?
Yeah. So mornings, the main thing you want to do in the morning is get your body hydrated, get a high amount of vitamin potential in for the day, and get your body to wake up, right? Plus, you just woke up, you're breaking the fast. That's what breakfast is. You're breaking the fast. So you want to have things that are easy to digest, easy on your system, right? So that's why most breakfast foods are technically easier on the system. But if you start off with fruits, very easy to digest, very simple. They're going to hydrate you very, very quickly because you do need to have some extra water and stuff in the morning because you've been sweating in bed all night. Yes, you've been sweating in bed all night, especially now because it's getting a lot hotter. So you'll be shocked if you realize how much you actually sweat at night. That's why you wake up thirsty. So you do that in the mornings. Yes, you have some eggs. You have whatever protein you want in the mornings. But start off with some fruits, and then grains during the lunchtime because they're going to be longer lasting. They're going to sustain longer. Now, I mean, I have a whole bowl of oats. I got my old man oats, as they call them here, because I'm the old man. See right here.
Yeah, I got.
And so, but I mean, I've got my bowl of old man oats, but it's got fruits and nuts and all kinds of other stuff. And I'll take whatever kind of meat I'm hungry for that day, whether it's turkey or chicken or beef or whatever, and I'll have that. I'll have that with it. But I've got my big bowl of oats, so yeah, I've got grains in the morning. But that's because I burn a lot of I burn a ridiculous amount of calories during the day. You will too eventually, but otherwise, start with like a kind of a fruit base, and then add on to that.
Right.
Lunchtime's kind of you get more variability of what you can have at lunch than any other time during the day because you're going to burn off the rest of the day. So if you want to have a pasta meal, have it at lunch. I mean, like the heavier meal is actually going to be at lunch. And then dinner time, keep it lighter again, much more fibrous. If you're gonna have salads, do salads at night. If you're gonna do like cooked veggies, do those at night. I do a lot of omelets at night personally.
Yeah.
Just because they're quick and easy. And I mean, you can spice them up. I mean, you can get really chefy with omelets at night, with everything you add to them. But so you want stuff that's fairly easy to digest at nighttime as well. But the main thing is you want fiber. You want fiber at night to help push things out so you can clean out in the morning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's kind of
What
the whole overall picture there.
now, one of the, the most that I see when it comes to weight loss, and the people are here that deal with it the most is women. Unfortunately, because of society, society puts out, stick figure woman, and that's the standard. Well, a lot of, regular average ladies, they deal with weight issues. So I want you to speak on that because you've worked in this for so long. What have you seen most effective for a woman to lose weight?
Most effective thing, one, deal with the stress in your life helps out tremendously.
Okay.
Sleep is a biggie. Not getting the right amount of sleep is going to hold weight on you. And that and stress. Those are the two big things. One, the stress component is you're going to do more bad things from a dietary standpoint whenever you're stressed. Because stress eating, I mean, guys stress eat too, but not to the same extent that women stress eat. So dealing with the stress first, so you're not having snacks that you don't really think about or remember, or that you say, well, I'm just stressed, I need some extra chocolate right now. Some dark chocolate, yes. That candy bar that you just took down, that's another 400 calories, no. Your mocha espresso thing that you get from Starbucks that's 800 calories and it's all sugar, no, because you got to have your coffee, right? So it's getting that stress component taken care of because there is a whole mental emotional issue around food. Like I said, more so with women than men. Guys, it's more of a bag of chips or something salty, but man, the sweets for them is ridiculous. And then the sleep. If you're not getting good sleep at night, one, your body can't let go of things, and it's really tough to lose weight. Almost impossible to lose weight because your adrenals don't get to relax. So you've always got adrenaline pumping all day long, right? Because you're always stressed and going here and doing this, especially if you got kids, right? And at nighttime, your body gets to recover from that. If you don't get to sleep, you don't sleep well, you don't get the recovery you need, and it's pretty much impossible to lose weight because if the adrenals aren't working and they're overtaxed, then your thyroid can't work properly. If your thyroid can't work properly, you're not losing weight ever. So
Right.
that honestly is the biggie and the one thing that nobody really looks at. Yeah, sure, you got working out. Yes, you got taking in less calories, and for that, go get MyFitnessPal, put it on your phone, see how many calories you're burning per day versus what you're burning. If you want to get one of the watches, get you a Garmin. Garmin does really, really good. The brand new iWatch does a really good job on tracking all that, all your exercise, calories in, calories out, all that stuff. This way, you like I've burned this many calories. I mean, it's not exact, but you're close enough, right? I burned this many calories. I took in this many calories. I should be losing weight. I'm not losing weight. What's going on? Well, how have you been sleeping? My sleep is horrible. That's why you're not losing weight.
Now,
Because your body's holding on to it.
where does cortisol come in on that?
That's why you got to have the sleep. So cortisol comes in on that with the adrenals. Your adrenals are like pumping all day long because, well, you got traffic, you got kids, you got work stress, you got spouse stress, you got all these stresses, and so you got this happening all day with your adrenals, and it's just adrenaline, 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 and then oh, I would sleep, but I gotta stay up because, well, this show on Netflix is way too good. Adrenaline still pumping because you're watching a scary show or something like that, and you get like automatic burst of adrenaline. You're like, oh, that was awesome scene. So you do that, and you don't really get to sleep and rest like you should, so you don't get the off. And then your adrenals don't really get to pump, or they try to pump, but they get nothing to pump. And since they can't pump anything, that starts affecting your thyroid because your thyroid works along with that. And the cortisol levels go up because you're stressed. And then you get stressed about being stressed, and it's a whole downward spiral.
It's a spiral.
Yeah. So the best thing you can do is shut off Netflix at night.
Yeah.
Get the sleep that you need, which on average, most people need 8 hours. I know we like to think we're all Superman. I can get by with 6. I can get by with 4. No, you cannot. There's like a 0.01% that can get by on 4% of sleep. There's only one of the, there's very few of those out there. One of them used to be president. And hopefully will be again. That's why he's tweeting at 2 a.m, because he's up. But for everybody else, like, you got to have that 8 hours. If you're creative, if you are a highly creative person, you're in a creative industry, creative job, you probably need more like 10.
Right.
Because it takes that much longer for you to restore and rejuvenate and everything. The busybodies that have like 3 businesses and they're doing this and doing that, yeah, sure, they get by on 4 hours of sleep, because if they did more than that, their body would go nuts.
Right.
Everybody else, 8 hours, maybe 6 hours on the low end, but you start hitting below 6 hours for more than 3 days, your body's gonna be telling you, I need a nap today. I just can't think. And that means, okay, you need some sleep. And if you don't get the sleep that you need, you're gonna eat to get the calories for the energy you need, because there's not enough caffeine in the world to get you through it. So you're gonna eat another 15% of calories that you're gonna know about. You're gonna sleep eat your way through it.
Right. So you substitute food for the sleep.
Oh, you have to. Your body will automatically point you in the direction of, ooh, that over there. Those donuts look really good right now. It's gonna give me a nice little energy pop right now. Let's have those. You're gonna forget about it. You're not gonna remember these donuts. No, you're not. You're gonna forget it. No, you didn't. You here, eat the donuts. Just forget you had those. Let's keep on going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, why am I putting on weight? Yeah, well, because you took down like 6 donuts yesterday. What? When? No, I did not. Yeah, you did.
So I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of people who have jobs that are at desk, that do computer, especially women. And I'm not trying to stereotype folks. I'm just saying, okay, there's a lot of that may be in front of phones, maybe at desks, maybe computer. People have those jobs. What do those people do to better what can they do to better their health during the day? Oh,
that right there, hydrate.
Red stuff?
Well, not the red. I mean, this is my own stuff, but no, like water. Seriously, water. You got to hydrate. Most people are way severely dehydrated. And also, so the whole desk job thing. Most people, their desk job is at home now. Okay, because I mean, COVID took people out of the office and put them at home. In the office, you got more stuff done. At the office, you had less snacks. At the office, you didn't have your fridge sitting right there that you can just walk over to and look in there and go, ooh, that looks tasty. I'm going to have some of that.
Crunch.
So, yes. So if you're at home, blockade yourself into your home office. Maybe get you a secondary little mini fridge to put in there, so you can't go to the big fridge, right? You stock it full of water. You stock it full of better, healthier snacks that are going to fill you up more. But the main thing is, if you're hydrated, you're not going to be hungry. Right. That's a biggie. If you're dehydrated, you start eating more food. So you're dehydrated and you're sleeping less. You're eating way more all day, every day, without thinking about it. I'm saying you're gonna sleep through those snacks. You're not even gonna know what happened. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see it later on, right? But you're not gonna know. It's like the whole hand to mouth thing. Just forget about it.
So I wanted before we get to your product, which I'd love to talk about. How does somebody, what do you recommend somebody stepping into? They want to change their life. They want to get better. They want that personal health reform, as you say. Day one at the gym. what are you recommending for starting off this workout when your body's brittle? For some of us who are over 40, your body's kind of brittle. Any little thing bending down, can put you out for a week.
Mhm.
How do you start?
You start with the best thing ever, the easiest thing ever, which is one, don't go to the gym. Unless you want to come to my gym, but don't go to the gym. Go out and walk. Start there. Walking, best thing in the world for a couple reasons. One, it's going to de-stress you, especially when you're walking outside. Wait, hold on. Do you see that out there?
Mm-hmm.
That outside stuff. You see those big green things, or those big brown things with green things on them? You want to go walk with those. If you can, take your shoes off in a park and go walk around shoeless in a park. Watch out for the dog poo.
Or the ant.
Yeah, watch out for the ants. Yeah, we're in Texas. Watch out for the ants. But get out and go walk and breathe and be in nature for a little bit, because one, we've gotten away from that. It's going to majorly de-stress you. Like that 30 minutes, it's not one of those walks. It's to just go out and walk and breathe for 30 minutes, right? The secret to weight loss is actually breathing more and deeper and better, because you're putting out more CO2. Most of the weight loss is a conversion of fat into CO2. So start there. You're gonna feel a whole lot better, whether you do it in the morning or at nighttime. If you're a night person, do it at night. If you're a morning person, do it in the morning. If you're not a morning person, don't do it in the morning. You're gonna stress yourself out. You're gonna start hating life. You're not gonna do it. And do it get some sun, right? But like once summer gets here, you're not gonna be out in the middle of the day doing it. Don't do it in the middle of the day either. Don't do that to yourself. That's just a beating. So do it in the cooler day, or the best time of day for you to go out and walk. Start there. 30 minutes, 3 times a week, then bump it up to 30 minutes for 4, and then bump it up to 30 minutes for 5 times a week, and then bump it up to 6, and hold it there, and then start slowly increasing that, right? Get some good shoes before you go walking as well. But one, it's going to help with the weight loss. You're going to get up and start moving. You're going to breathe better. You're going to think a lot better. You're going to get de-stressed because you're out amongst everything. Plus, if you got a dog, the dog wants to go walking anyway, and should. Then you can start thinking about getting into the gym. But even before then, start doing basics. Do some push-ups, do some squats. And by squats, I mean sit down in a chair and stand up out of the chair, and sit down in the chair and stand up, and sit down and stand up. Do the push-ups on the chair. Do elevated. Maybe do that when you go walking. Like go walking by a park bench, stop at the park bench, sit, stand, do a couple of push-ups, and go back to walking, right? So start with the basics, start with the easy stuff. If you get a treadmill at home, you want to do the treadmill at home, fine, but I would recommend getting outside at least 2 to 3 times whenever you're doing the treadmill stuff. Like if it's raining, okay, treadmill. But if it's nice out, go find a treadmill, walk outside. Start there. And also get your mindset around going to the gym is not a beating. You're not supposed to beat yourself. You can't beat yourself into better health. So you can get beat down, you can't get beat up, right? So you want to build yourself up. So it's a building process. So before you get into the gym, one, ask yourself, do I even want to do that? Do I want to go work out and lift weights? Or do I want to do something else? You like dancing? Great, go dance. And this is also in the book too. Because I mean, yes, I'm here. I have a gym. I like lifting heavy stuff, but that's me.
Look at my picture. Look, I'm at the gym. Let me check in on the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that thing too. You're gonna have to deal with all these idiots doing selfies in the gym, and if you get between them and their camera, they're gonna go crazy nuts on you. It's ridiculous right now. We don't have that here in my place, but I see it in other gyms, and it's comedy. It's hilarious because everybody's a TikTok star now. Plus, if you're walking outside, you're not gonna be exposed to all those people. But no, whenever you get into the gym, realize you're there to help build yourself up. So if there's classes you want to take, go try some classes. I don't know, go hop on one of those. Go do some spin classes. I will say, make sure you get the padded shorts. Maybe go get it on just a regular bike and see if you can handle that for 20, 30 minutes before you go do a spin class. Otherwise, you will die in the spin class.
So can I give a quick little?
Go ahead.
I was in Iraq and I was 215 and solid. I mean, I was a rock. And I decided to go ahead, and they had the army on the army side. They had a spin class, and it was all mostly females that did the spin class. And I decided, you know what, I want to do this. This seems like cool stuff. Man, dude, I thought they were gonna have to call the ambulance. I was gonna end up at an Iraqi hospital there, dude. I was not ready for the beatdown that those women put on me. I was just done with it, man. And they were just like, "Come on, more, more." It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So yes, listen to what he's saying about this whole
Yeah.
spin class.
Yeah. You don't want to get sent home. Dude, what happened? Did you get shot? Did you? No, I got taken out by a spin class. You what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got sent home on injury leave because of a spin class.
Dude, I got shot. What happened to you, man? Spin class with the females. Yeah. So okay, so you know what? Unfortunately, there's things that you have to do to pay the bills, but you have a very good product that you'd like to talk about. Can you go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah. Are you talking about what I had you and your wife taken for COVID or?
Yes, sir. You
Okay.
had like pre-COVID, and you have health things that you do, and I just want you to talk about that. And I'm gonna
Yes.
put links and stuff to Clint's stuff. I'm gonna put that in the comments if you're interested in contacting him and getting his products. I'm gonna put all that information down in the comments.
Yeah. So, I said previously, I used to run a nutritional supplement company. Sadly, that company went under years ago. It wasn't for COVID. It was because of, well, I'd say it, the owner made some really bad decisions and we lost a lot of money and closed the doors. So a couple years later, I ran into another company that I really liked. Met the guy that actually does all the product formulation, brilliant stuff. I hopped on board mostly because they were making stuff that I wanted to make, but we didn't have the money to make it. But for COVID, so we have an immune booster product. We use this for a lot of frontline people. I'm talking doctors, nurses, fire, police, you name it. Everybody that's like in the public that needed protection from COVID, right? Keep from getting it. I don't want to throw anything extra out there, but most of our people did not catch it, or if they did, it was taken care of very quickly. So that's what I had you and your wife taking, and it's from a company called Ideal Life. I'm not going to try to get you my downline. I'm doing it retail, okay? But great stuff, great manufacturing. Everything that's in there is everything that was put out. I started studying COVID-19 before I got it. I got it in November of 2019, before it was even a thing, right? Nobody really knew what it was. I started watching in September of 2019 because I heard about this thing that was going on during the summertime over in China, and we were starting to see over here. But some research started coming out about SARS and what was being used, what got used for SARS originally for immune function and to fight it off in the system. And so that's what I was taking, which is why I had it for like 2 days, body fought it off. I'm like, okay, I know why I caught it. I wasn't taking enough. So pretty much my own daily thing that I take, I didn't get touched. I was out in the public the entire time that COVID was going on, no mask, no nothing, and never had a care in the world about it. But for everybody else, we were giving this to all the first responders. They did great on everything. So, and it's a very specific immune boosting blend. It's great for just general health. Right now, it's like allergy season. It'll help out tremendously with allergy season. But for COVID specifically, highly beneficial for that. One, on the protection side, two, on the recovery side from getting out of your system, and then also like COVID brain stuff, you don't deal with it as much. But that still takes a couple weeks of clearance and getting things out, getting out of the system. And I do have, so I've got a group that does IVs that we bring in here every once in a while. They actually do they have an entire IV regimen for COVID. So if you caught it and you're like a long hauler, or if you got the jab and you're dealing with spike protein illness, they've got the protocols for taking care of that. Awesome stuff. Outside the products that I've got, and then related, like all the athletes, we have stuff for athletes. We got stuff for just normal people. DNA I talked about earlier. We do have DNA testing for like what type of exercise you should be doing. Are you somebody that needs to do aerobic? Are you somebody that needs to do hard strength training? Are you somebody that needs to not work out? There are people that need to not work out because it overstresses their system. And then the whole, do you run on carbohydrates, fats, proteins, even blend? So this way it takes all that guesswork out. So we have a DNA test just for that, and that goes into what we do for vitamins as well. This way everything is custom blended.
Okay. Now, when somebody comes up to you and says, Clint, I'm tired of feeling like crap. I'm tired of looking like crap. Where do you start with them?
Right here. Seriously, it's a mental mind game to start off. I've got a lot of people that I send over. I've got a friend that does does hypnotherapy. So I'll get them over with him, especially if they got a lot of weight to lose, or if they are dealing with some major mental roadblocks that are keeping them from doing stuff. The athletes too. Athletes, man, you talk about athletes really deal with this, especially when it comes to injuries. That's why they'll re-injure stuff a lot. But getting past those roadblocks, I'll send them over to my buddy Michael Harris. It's drmichaelharris.com. You can look him up. He does hypnotherapy. He's got programs just for sports. He's got programs just for weight loss. But it takes care of whatever's going on right here in your mind. Because if you have mental blocks, everybody has mental blocks about stuff. It starts the rewiring process. So diets don't seem like a torturous thing. Workouts are no longer a torturous thing because it's you convincing yourself and you talking to yourself about these things and getting through whatever mental block you've got. And sadly, this is a whole nother thing to talk about later on, but a lot of it comes down to abuse. There's abuses that happen whenever you're really young, you may or may not remember, and that creates a lot of issues, especially on the weight loss, weight gain thing, especially for women. I do a lot with that. Just a quick little pin on that. There's a lot of mental, emotional abuse, physical abuse, things that run into that, which is why oftentimes women really have trouble losing weight because they don't really want to. There's a mental, emotional thing with that. So that's the best place to start. You start here on the mind game. That's why chapter 1 of my book is nothing but the whole mental process of before we even get into this whole workout diet thing. We got a lot of stuff to unpack and see how much you got to unpack here for yourself to mentally get yourself healthy. And once mentally you're ready to do stuff, the physical stuff is stupid easy. And until you go crazy and turn into David Goggins and you're running 5 marathons back to back. And I love David Goggins. He's inspirational, great, but man, nobody else can live that life. I've got a friend that hung out with him for a week. He goes, no, that ain't for nobody. He's like, I do marathons. That man's nuts.
Right. Now, you know what? And before I let you close out with the audience on what you may want to say, I wanted to ask you, as a veteran with PTSD, and then my sisters in arms who got MST and PTSD, what you just talked about mental block. What can us as veterans with this that came back a little broken? How could we get back into what is the start of getting back to this?
Ooh, that's a big one.
I'm sorry, I know that's a big one, but you deal with
that's a whole show right there. A couple things. So I worked with 22 Kill for quite some time. They are now called One Tribe. First and foremost, get in touch with them. They got tons of resources, great people. I love those people. If you are an amputee or you're dealing with major combat issue stuff, ATF here in Dallas, phenomenal group. I know a few people that work over there. It's Adaptive Training Foundation. Look them up. They do phenomenal, incredible work. Dr. Michael Harris. Michael Harris does a lot of stuff with PTSD because it is. There's a mind thing there, and you kind of have to get into your tribe and find some people that are doing that you want to do, and start moving forward with them, right? Because it's not a thing you can do by yourself. It's a really tough thing to do by yourself, especially coming from military, because everything is much more group based, unless of course you are intel or a sniper and it's just you. Right. Everybody else, you have that group dynamic, and you need that group dynamic. One, to sound stuff out, work things out, and also you're in a group that already understands. They've been through your stuff. Most of the people out here that have not been in, haven't served, they have no idea, no clue what goes on within the military, period. And then if you've been in combat situations, stuff like that, they really, they're just things say, oh, I care, I understand, but it's yeah, but you weren't there, right? So it's getting in those groups and find the right groups. That's why I put those out there, because I'm telling you, One Tribe Foundation, great people. ATF, great people. So my partner is ex-military. He was in the Army for a while. Most of my family is. I'm the one that didn't go. So that's why I do a lot of stuff with them. I used to do all the 22 push-up challenge stuff. I did that for 3 or 4 years. Did tons of videos. You can go on.
I'm gonna have links. I'm gonna have all your links and stuff. So just we'll put them on there. Unfortunately, this is where I gotta close. So I'll let you talk directly to the audience. Tell them what you got to tell them, and we'll close out, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody out there, realize everything is about growth and getting better. So sit down, figure out what you want to do, have some conversations with yourself. They're not going to be easy conversations. Have them, do them. Jordan Peterson has some great stuff to look at. He's got a great book, by the way, that you probably need to read. Go through that. Read. If you want my book, I'll send you a copy. But otherwise, realize there's better things in life. There's more things in life. You're here for a reason. You got to sit down, figure out what that is, put it on paper, and then get yourself healthy enough to do that thing. Otherwise, you won't get to, and that's the biggest travesty in the world, is you not getting to do what you were put on this world to do.
Wow, and that's beautiful, bro. We got to take care of our bodies from a Christian perspective. He calls our body the temple, and we got to take care of it. And then you want to live for the loved ones. I've lost a lot of brothers and sisters, and that your health, whether it's your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, all that comes together, and it's needed. Man,
Yep.
I appreciate you coming on the show. I hope it's not the last time, because there's so much knowledge we can talk about. And I definitely would love to share it with my audience. I'll have his stuff, his comments, his contacts in the comment section, so you guys can call him up and maybe start on your personal health reform.
Yep.
Clint, thank you so much for coming. Can you stick around after the show?
Oh yeah, yeah.